Any other thing?
So this one has to erase, this is to write.
To hold a handheld mic again. So this is the I don't need to hold a handheld mic again. So this is the app. So I need to hold one. I need to hold a mic. Okay. So I need to hold one.
You guys want me to sit?
I need to hold a mic.
So who's doing the intro?
Okay. Are you auto playing the
You guys want me to sit? You want me to sit here the whole day? Okay, so who's doing the intro now?
Somebody has to introduce. Are you auto playing the profile? I thought you were reading the profile. You auto play the profile or what?
Sorry?
Are you auto playing the profile?
Your profile?
I thought you were reading the profile.
No. I think he has the profile. I'll just get it done with it.
So what happens with the deck now?
Your deck on the screen.
Yeah, is it on the screen?
You want to present it on the screen, right?
So what happens with the deck now?
Yes. Your deck on the screen.
Yeah, is it on the screen?
You want to present it. Alright.
It's very tiny, Sha. No, just show. Okay. Oh, what do we do? Yes. Okay.
Alright.
It's very tiny, Sha.
No, I'm going to just invite you over. Don't worry, I'll invite you over.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Alright, everyone, thank you so much for waiting. Again, my name is Godwin, the community and engagement manager at Miva, and it's a pleasure to have you all join us. Alright, everyone, thank you so much for waiting. Again, my name is Godwin, the community and engagement manager at Miva, and it's a pleasure to have you all join us here.
Like
this
I
morning.
always
If you're happy to
say,
be here, can you put your
hands
hands together for yourself?
because we pay attention to this one. We don't like.
Alright, taking people's time.
Like I always
for
say,
granted.
we have
So
to be
we are not
time,
going to be waiting
and it's
for
because
others.
we
We need to start
really pay attention to
But
people's
I'm
time.
very
We don't
honored
like
to
work on
taking
this very
people's
special
time
guest
for granted.
whom we
So
have here
we are not
today,
going to be waiting
who's
for
going to
others.
be
We are
our
going to
speaker.
start.
But before I do that,
But I'm very
I'd
honored
like us
to
to acknowledge the
welcome
presence
this
of
very
our
special
CPO,
guest
the
whom
Chief
we have here
Executive
today,
Group,
who's going to
Oladipo
be our
Olugbemi,
speaker.
who's
But
joining
before
us
I
here.
put our hands together for front, I'd like us to acknowledge the presence of
Thank you so much for
CPO,
coming. And I think this is actually a good place for him to
Oladipo Olugbemi,
because
who's
again,
joining us here. Let's put our hands together for him.
Who knows?
Thank you so much for coming. And I think this is actually a good place for him to be seated because again, Miva is very good for spotting talent. Who knows, might become our next shining
He's your
star
go-to person
with
for
another
talent
different
spotting
AI tool or even a particular service
I'd like to just
quickly
quickly
for us here
read
at
the profile
Miva.
of this
So he's your go-to person for talent spotting, and he's been doing an incredible job here at Miva. So I'd like to just quickly read all the people's business. He's somebody that has been
How would I call him?
he's a trailblazer in the
most recently
HR or the people's business.
We have
He's somebody that has been known for sporting talents across different industries, but most recently the hospitality business. And if you agree with me, we have very few five-star hotels in Nigeria. And when I mean five-star hotels, that are doing is five-star hotels. And he, I believe, a lot of the responsibility of recruiting some of the brilliant and amazing minds that are doing great work at Eco Hotels. I believe a lot of us here have been to Eco Hotels. If you've been to Eco Hotel, let me see your hands.
Alright, sir, this is so officially
Give us the album. I would be disappointed if you guys have not been to Eco Hotel. Eco Hotel, guys, let's see your hands up. Alright, we have
Alright,
Emmanuel
sir,
this is to
here,
officially tell you that we are
coach,
coming for excursion at
founder of
HR with Alright, great. Alright, we have Emmanuel Michael here. He's a leadership coach and founder of HR with EM. If you are big on LinkedIn, if you use LinkedIn very frequently, you would know this hashtag. Almost 10 HR with EM of experience. And he's a highly respected leadership and career success coach with almost 30 years of experience as a strategic business leader. And he has a strong 30 years of experience, guys, spanning multidisciplinary engineering and Oracle, information technology, hospitality. And he has a strong background spanning multidisciplinary engineering, information technology, hospitality, financial services, He currently serves as the director of EM has been a highly sought-after professional in the field of human leading a team of HR for over 2 decades in fostering a people-first. He currently serves as the director of human resources at Eco Hotel and Suites, and this is leading a team of HR professionals in fostering a people-first culture. In addition to just him being the and this is one of Africa's he's also the chair of HRCI Certification Council. In addition to where he plays a him being the advancing global head of HR, he's also the chair of HRCI Certification Council, where he plays a pivotal role in advancing global HR standard and professional certification. He has vast expertise and if we want to read this profile today, numerous awards and accolades, including recognition as he has vast expertise and influence that have earned numerous awards and accolades, including his recognition as one of the most influential. Together, this is a big achievement. Top 100 most influential global HR leaders, and global, not Nigeria, global HR leaders. Let's put our hands together. This is a big achievement. He was named a top-rated influencer on the most inclusive HR, and he's one of the 101 social HR heroes 2019. He was named a top-rated influencer on the most inclusive HR influencer list on LinkedIn by Social Miko in 2019, and also recognized as one of the top 50 personalities on LinkedIn in Nigeria. I think one of the key things everyone should do here today is to follow this great man. In 2020, he contributed in the global HR community to follow Miva back if he sees that your and he has been recognized with several honors. In 2020, he contributed in the global most HR community, global HR leaders, guys, and he has been recognized with several honors, including 501 most famous top global HR top leaders. Guys, we have a celebrity in our midst here. Continent. Top 3 best revenue supporting HR. Top 8 HR top leaders in top Africa. Black HR influencers to continent. Top 3 best revenue supporting HR. Top 11 HR leaders to 30 top black HR influencers to follow. We are all going to follow him today. Top 50 career influencers in Africa. Top 11 HR leaders to follow. And ladies and gentlemen, we are all going to follow him today. Welcome to all Mr. Emmanuel seated with us here, and we guest to him. If your hands are not too busy, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together as I welcome Mr. Emmanuel Michael, our guest speaker for today's Masterclass.
Okay, thank you, Godwin. Thank you very much. What's your name? I didn't get your name. Godwin. It's still morning, right? Yes, this morning, this morning. Okay, thank you, Godwin, and thank you, everyone. We are very quiet. It's still morning, right? Yes. Good morning, everyone. Are you excited to? So how are we doing? Okay, so you already know my name, right? We are very quiet. How are we so excited to be here? Are you excited to be here? Skills for the future. So you already know my name, right? So we're going to explore. And I'm also excited to be here. How to prepare to talk on skills for the future. So we're going to explore together today how to prepare for the rapidly changing world of work here with us. So, right? And because the future is here with us, we've been talking about the future, but the truth is that this future is already here with us, right? And because the future is here with us, there is need for us to know whether we are ready for this future. Top 10 skills here. So I'm going to be sharing with us some of the essential skills. What are these top 10 skills? There are top 10 skills that I will look at. And the top 10 skills are what do we need to do to begin. So we're going to look at those top 10 skills. We're going to look at why the skills matter. You have them, maybe you have. And then we're going to look at what do we need to do to begin at the end of the session to these skills if we don't already have them. To build. And if you do have them, maybe you have some, you don't have all. At the end of the session, I make a commitment to begin to build the ones that we do not have. I would like to begin by saying, so let me see what I have here. It's not something that we enter. So we're through with the welcome. The future I like to begin by saying that we create. That the future is not something that we enter. We want a particular kind of. The future is something we need to create. That we create. The future will not just. So the future is only that together. Create. If you want a particular kind of future, so you need to create it. The future will not just happen. Are we together? Before you even enroll. Are we together? So you need to create the kind of future that you want. So for those of us who are in this school, you know that when you join, before you even enroll in Miva, you thought about what course you want to study, the kind of future and your purpose. You have a why, right? And that was why for enrolling in this particular program. So you're already beginning to imagine the kind of future that you like to have. And that was why you enrolled in this particular program. That's exactly what we're going to be doing today. To look at what are these skills that will make you excited about relevant for eternity until I leave this. Okay, so why should we be bothered about excited about that? The future. So like I said, the future is now, right? Okay, so why should we be bothered about the future? So like I said, the future is now, right? So why should we be bothered about the future? Why is it important? In terms of technology, we've seen that yesterday there are several things that are happening around us. We've noticed in terms of technology, AI. Yesterday I attended a session at a hotel where someone actually wanted to talk to us about AI and how you can make money, spend so much to show us several tools you can use AI and actually use things that ordinarily you need to hire someone to spend so much to get the job done. But you can use AI tools that are coming out to simplify your life. We've also seen that the AI is high in use right now. There's new tools that are coming out every day. Then we've also seen that the world is focused on sustainability. This morning I had a chat with my director of sales, and she was talking about the impact that we are making. So sustainability is high. If you look at the workplace as well, you notice that about our workplace today, the impact that we are making. So sustainability is high. If you look at the workplace as well, you notice that in the workplace today, before now, usually you have like 4 or 5 generations. Today, you actually have about 6 generations to be able to manage working together all these 6 different and you need generations to have the skills. The demography will enable you to be able to manage all these 6 different leading generations. And those that are the demography of the workforce, understand what sort of skills to be ready that will enable you to know the person that you are leading and those that are leading you. I believe in Miva, understand what sort of skills that will enable you and to be successful in managing technology. So today we also notice, I believe in Miva, some of us attend face-to-face classes, right? And others use technology. So in the workplace as well, what we've seen is that there's a mix of remote, some people will say on-site, off-site, flexible, some will want work days. Those are the things that we're seeing some days. Some people will say I only work 3 days in a week, and then the rest sometimes you even work. Some will want to work maybe the whole week. They work some days on-site, work some days off-site, and then sometimes you even work completely remotely. So I sit, my bio, HRCI is located in the US, right? Moderator read about my bio said that I sit as the chair of the HRCI Council. HRCI Council is in the, only one, HRCI is located in the US, right? But I stay here in Nigeria to run all the meetings virtual. It's only once or twice in a year that I have to visit the US. For those who send all along, everything is done here. We have our meetings virtual. Maybe we want to, you don't have to physically, for those who send exams, and they need to sit to have a meeting to send. We send exams remotely, physically. Sometimes you don't have to physically see yourself before you send the exam. And the exams are also taken virtually. You don't have to physically. Sometimes you take your colleague face-to-face, or sometimes you go to an exam center, work with the person exam. So why today should students, you don't have to see your colleague face-to-face to be able to work with the person. So why should students be interested? And for me, the major reason is that you want to make sure that you future-proof for yourself. Why should you be interested? And for me, the major reason is that you want to make sure that you future-proof yourself to ensure that you are relevant. So as things are changing, I think the moderator talked about the learning continues, right? Are we together? So the learning if the learning continues, it means we have to keep learning. And because new skills keeps coming out every day, we have to keep evolving. We don't just remain stagnant. If you stop learning, you start dying. That's something that always rings a bell with me. If you stop learning, you start dying. So because I don't want to start dying, I need to keep learning. So a very good example is, I usually run races. Okay, for those of us who follow me, you know that I run races. If I don't practice all the time, I'll notice that my personal best race time will begin to drop. So I have to keep up the practice in order to improve my time for completing a particular race. And that's exactly what happens with learning. So if you don't learn, you begin to forget some of those skills. So if we look at, when I was preparing for this, I tried to look at what sort of statistics are available. And I visited the World Economic Forum website. And that site suggests that 85% of the jobs that will exist in 2030 have not yet been invented. So if 85% of jobs that are available in 2030 not yet invented, for you to be ready, and I believe that most of us will live to 2030. Who is not going to live to 2030 yet? Everybody will live to 2030. So, and you want to make sure that you are relevant. So if the jobs are not invented, what does that mean? It means you need to begin to prepare yourself so that when those jobs are invented, you will also remain relevant, okay? So this means that job security is not about knowing everything. It's about the ability to keep learning. And at Miva, one of the goals is to ensure that you don't, even when you graduate, you don't just stop learning. You continue to learn. And then employers are also looking for people who can adapt, who can think critically, and who can also work well with others. Sometimes you talk with colleagues at work and they say, I'm just here to come and work and go. I don't have business with people around me. If that's your mentality, be rest assured you're going to fail. Because you need people around to grow. If you don't work well with people, it will be difficult for you to be elevated, because when you are elevated to supervisory role, you need to manage people. So you must learn how to work with people. And then again, for you to achieve your own goal, the task that's given to you, you need to also work with people to ensure that you deliver on your goals. Because you cannot start and finish any process at work. It is completely impossible. So let's say, for instance, I want to hire someone. A department will have to make a request that they need someone. Then I need to advertise. Then when the candidates come, I need to sit with the hiring department in order to interview that particular candidate. When we finish interviewing the candidate, the onboarding, you can't do everything. Some other person will have to do the onboarding. You get it? So you always need people. And then to get the person's salary paid, you need to also collaborate with the finance team or the payroll team to ensure that this person is paid. So you need people. So the days when we say that I'm just here to do my work, get my salary and go is gone. If you want to succeed, then you must be able to know how to work with people. And if you don't work well with people, what then happens is that when there's an opportunity for elevation, they will say this person's people skill is zero. Because their people skill is zero, you'll be left behind. And you then notice someone who just came yesterday, the person is growing within the system. He or she is able to have good relationship with both their peers, people below them, and people above. Everybody is saying very nice things about them. I like to work with this person. When there's a project, if it's Mr. A, you like to work with Mr. A. If it's Mr. B, no, I don't want Mr. B because he doesn't know how to talk to colleagues. Okay? So employers are looking for people who can adapt. As the environment, our economy is changing, you can see today everything is volatile, especially in this country, right? Organizations are looking for people who will think critically, creative, find a solution to the challenge that they have. The question then will be, are you that person? Are you the one? Are you adaptable? When you see challenges before you, do you just see obstacles or do you see opportunities? Are we together? Okay, so that's basically why the skills are important. So I'm going to look at top 10 skills, okay, for the future. Let's see, do I have them here? So the top 10 skills are grouped into 3. You have the human-centered skills. The human-centered skills, you know today, some of the story that we get is that because there's AI is going to take away some of our jobs, right? But the truth is that AI is really not going to take away your job. The person that is going to take away your job is the one who knows how to use AI. Okay? And then there are certain things that AI can never do. As of today, we know that AI cannot take away the human-centered skills. And then the second set of skills are digital and data skills. And the third one is career and self-leadership skills. So the first skill, which is the human-centered skill, so if I write that down, emotional intelligence. How many of us have heard about emotional intelligence? Good, okay, so we all know what it is. Who wants to define emotional intelligence for me? Emotional intelligence, who wants to attempt to define what it is? Nobody, okay, I can see a hand. Can you help me give me the mic?
Good day, everyone. I would say in simple terms that emotional intelligence is the ability to detect a person's state of mind at a particular time and know how to react to what has been detected. Thank you.
Okay, let's put our hands together for him. Okay, so that's emotional intelligence, okay? Emotional intelligence basically means understanding and managing your emotions and those of others. Can you switch off the mic? Thank you. So these human-centered skills, most times we call them soft skills, right? We call them soft skills. But they're actually beyond soft skills. They are what I call power skills. They are power skills, which means with this you can do great things. So emotional intelligence is one, and it's very critical. Your ability to understand how you feel, react, respond to things is very critical. When somebody comes to you and the person is charging at you, do you charge back at that particular person? It will either help you to advance or retrogress, right? Then how you also relate to people. When something goes bad, or when someone doesn't treat you well, how do you respond? When someone comes to tell you a story about another employee or colleague, how do you respond? So emotional intelligence is very key. So that's one skill that we need to imbibe. So if you are not emotionally intelligent, that's something you need to begin to think of. The second human-centered skill is adaptability and resilience. So adaptability, I talked about organizations looking for people to adapt. When you get into the workspace, you will notice that there are certain challenges. And when you get there, if I take an example of where I currently work, there are 1001 challenges that I see every day. So the question will be, do I stay or do I run away? Or do I do something about it? The organization will be looking for people who will want to face that challenge and do something about it. Okay? And then maybe things are not working well. Do you just jump ship? Or you adapt and try to find a solution? So today in the country, I noticed that cost of living is just jumping and rising, right? And because cost of living is jumping, people are beginning to find alternative ways of getting things done, alternative ways of making sure they remain sane. So that's basically adaptability. And when we talk about resilience, we are looking at your ability to embrace change. The change might be very painful, but are you able to embrace it? Are you able to do something about it? Okay? Then the third skill, critical thinking and problem solving. So I've talked about that already. Critical thinking and problem solving. Organizations are looking for people who would think, when there's a problem, you don't just say, okay, there's a problem, I need to take it to my line manager to solve. I need to take it to my supervisor to solve. When you find or you are faced with a problem, the first thing that you need to do is to, first of all, identify the root cause of that particular problem. Come to your manager with some possible suggestions or solutions to solve that particular problem. And if you're always coming to your manager with a solution to a problem, you will notice that every now and then your manager will be counting on you because they believe that when there's a problem, you will come with one or two suggestions of what we need to do to solve it. So critical thinking and problem solving is very, very critical. Skill number 4, the human-centered skill, is creativity and innovation. So there is not just one way of doing things. There are several ways, right, of solving a particular problem. Your organization is looking for people who will come up with creative ideas on how we can achieve results. Let's say, for instance, the budget for a particular project is reduced, but we want you to achieve or even exceed your previous results. So how are you going to go about it? Maybe you need to spend money. Usually we spend money to increase our reach. Are there organic ways that you can increase your reach without necessarily spending money? And then you surpass your previous target. That's what organizations are looking for. So creativity, innovation in how things are done. So I talked about collaboration. And I've said that if you don't collaborate, you will not grow. This is very critical. If you don't collaborate, you will not grow. So in the workplace, you must learn to collaborate. Even if you don't like that person, you must find a way to work with people around you. And if you are like me, I work in a cross-cultural environments where you have people from different races, not only Nigerians, multinationals, different countries, people speak different languages. Sometimes some don't even understand English. We have to use sign language to understand ourselves or get an interpreter to understand. And then one classical example is there is someone from a different race, right? So normally you just crack jokes in the meeting. And then someone then cracked a joke to say, this person, it's because of the way they made their face, that was why something happened. So just a joke. Do you know that this person that was described took it very serious and had to send a message that I didn't like that comment that you made. Why would you say it's because my face, I made my face somehow? And it was just a joke. And so the person now felt unhappy but it was just an ordinary joke. And this guy felt very hot to the point that he had to escalate it. So I had to intervene to find out what is it that I said, but it's just an ordinary joke. I said, no, I don't like that joke. In my place, we don't joke like that. So you need to be culturally sensitive, right? So you need to be culturally sensitive with people there. And that's what emotional intelligence does for you. So you need to understand this person, what I want to say, how will they receive it? Okay? So collaboration and cross-cultural communication is key. So those are the 5 human-centered skills that you need to know and do your best to acquire them. So let me repeat them again. So emotional intelligence, adaptability and resilience. 3, critical thinking and problem solving. 4, and then 5, collaboration and cross-cultural communication. Okay, so good. It shows that we are all in class. Okay, so let's look at the next one, digital and data skills. So I believe that most of us are all digital literate, right? Yes. Are we all digital literate? Yes. If you are not, you will be in this school now. The process starts from you going online to apply. So no matter your course of study, digital skills will be part of your career. And I believe that you are given assignments from time to time to make presentations, right? Good, so digital skills is critical. So if you are here and your digital skills are not sharp, then it means there's a big, big problem. So the first one is digital literacy. There is need for you to know how to use tools. There are certain tools that will be shared in the course of your training, certain platforms, certain softwares that you need. So even at the workplace, usually I used to tell people, depending on the career that you've chosen, try to find out are there tools, softwares, platforms that will help to enhance your work. Simple tools such as an Excel can be a very big deal for some people. Okay? I remember when I joined one organization, and they were having a challenge with payslip, just simple payslip. And the reason was that because they didn't have a payroll software, so they couldn't produce payslip. But I said, well, you have Excel, so how do you prepare your payroll? They use Excel. I said, well, with Excel, you can also get a payslip. And they said, no, it's difficult. because they have to print the payslip one by one. And so you had about 300 people. So for you to print one by one, means you have to edit each of the payslip for each employee, one after the other. That would take so much time. And so, because of the time that it will consume, they were not giving payslip to the employees. So I got there, and luckily for me, I've mastered how to use Excel, right? So I took the data, plotted it into my tool which I've created. I've created formulas, sheets. As soon as you populate just one page, every other thing will come up. But the payslip will come up automatically. And the first month when I resumed, I was able to give everyone payslip. It looked like magic to them. And so thereafter, every other time I said I want to do something, everybody believed me that it is possible. So basically, that tool is very critical. Then the other thing I also discovered in the current organization where I work now, when people are promoted, okay, it takes like 2 weeks to 3 weeks to get their letters out. Why? Because we have close to about 1,500 employees, and you need to print all the letters one by one. So I had to get the guys who prepared the letters. When I got there, it was the season to print those letters. And I asked them, have they heard about mail match? And they said no. So you see, that's a challenge. They've been using the Microsoft Office package and they don't even know mail match. So even the Microsoft Office package that you currently use, they need for you to explore all the features and how it can help you to become more efficient. Someone like me, I don't like to stress myself. I like to do things fast and just move on, okay? So I told them I can't be stressing to be checking whether the letter is correct and all that. Then why should it even take you 2 to 3 weeks to get the letter done? So I taught them how to use mail match. It took them just 1 day to populate the data of about 1,500, and the following day it took us just like an hour and the letters were ready. So it looked like magic. So if you know how to use a tool, you will become a magician in the workplace, and everybody will be running to you. So now when there is something they want to do, they will ask, is there a simpler way of getting this thing done? So you become the go-to person. So data literacy is key, okay? Then the next thing under data and digital skill is data analysis. Data analysis and interpretation. So there is need for you to know how to interpret numbers, trends, and patterns. And the only way you can do that is if you understand the data. And you also need to use a tool. So if you use Excel, there are several other tools. I'm just mentioning the very simple one that any of us can easily access. So with Excel, there is a tool there called pivot table. You can create a pivot table. You can use, there's an analysis function in Excel which you can use to analyze data, plot graphs, show trends. Those are some of the things you need. So your data should tell a story. Every time your data should tell a story. So you don't just gather data points and then you just present them and say this is the number of people who are exiting the company. Why are they exiting the company? So the people are leaving or people are staying longer in the organization. Why are they staying longer? You should be able to tell a story. Okay? The people who are likely to leave, you should be able to say, okay, from this data, this is what I'm able to infer from this particular data. So data analysis is key. Then tech agility. Learning how to learn. Staying updated with tools. That's basically what tech agility means. Okay? So you must learn how to learn and stay updated with tools. So you should be interested in finding out what is the latest tool that will improve the work that you're doing. So you need to be comfortable with learning new tech. So if they say it's AI that is the latest, don't wait. Cash in on it immediately and begin to learn. So in summary, I've read out 3 digital and data skills. So the first one is what? Okay, and the next one? Okay, and the final one there? Okay. So we're going to the last one, which is the career and self-leadership skills. So this is very key as well. So these skills are the skills that help you manage yourself. And for those of you who are in this school, I think this is number one for all of you. Okay? Your ability to manage yourself, your ability to take ownership of your growth is very critical if you want to succeed at Miva or Home University. If you can't manage your time, you'll be late in submitting your assignments. If you can't take ownership, you will not know what next to do. Who do you need to speak to? Maybe you're having a challenge with a particular course. Do you need to meet other co-learners? Do you need to speak to an advisor to help you with the challenge that you are having? So this is very critical for those of us in this particular course. So the first one there is self-management. How do you manage yourself? It starts by discipline. Are you a disciplined person? Do you allow a lot of distractions to take away your time, and at the end of the day you discover that it's just a few hours to the deadline to submit my assignment. It's just a few hours to the deadline to submit the task that I've been given. Are you organized? Maybe when we walk into your workspace, is it disorganized? Everything is just everywhere. Things are falling over on themselves. So organization is key, okay, as part of self-management. You need to have an organized workspace. So if you look at this room now, you can see everything is just arranged and things are properly in the right places, right? So that's organization. And then finally, do you follow through? When you make a promise to do something, do you follow through? Do you deliver? It's very key. So that's part of how you manage yourself. Being disciplined, being organized, and ensuring that you follow through. Then the second part of that is entrepreneurial thinking. When we talk about entrepreneurial thinking, I'm talking about being proactive. You don't wait. Maybe before the next course becomes available, and let's say you finish on time, do you begin to study ahead? Or do you wait until you are told this is the next course? Or do you try to find out? Okay? So like for me, I also participate in an online course where I had to submit something similar to Miva, right? So from time to time, what I did in my own case is I tried to even look at what are all the courses that I need to take and how long is it going to take me. And then even before I get to the course, I begin to do my own independent research so that as soon as the course is available, I already have enough knowledge to work with. I don't have to wait to even read the course material to begin to solve the challenge. So when the course becomes available, I just go straight to the assignment and see what assignment are we supposed to work on. And then based on the residual knowledge of what I've learned, I begin to put down my points before I even look at the course material. So, are you being proactive? Okay? So as an entrepreneur, you need to be proactive. Solving problems is also being entrepreneurial. So you don't wait. You need to solve problems. And then, like I said, when you see challenges, do you see them as obstacles or do you see them as opportunities? Okay, so these are the skills, or these skills are valuable, whether you work for someone or you want to start something on your own. So whether you are working for someone or you want to start something on your own, these career and self-leadership skills are very, very critical. So self-management, and that's the only way you can help yourself to succeed. So those are the top 10 skills that I wanted to share with us. So let's start from the beginning. There are 5 human-centered skills, right? Then 3 digital and data skills, and then 2 career and self-leadership skills. So let's just recap. The 5 human-centered skills. Who wants to give that to us? Number 1. Okay, 2.
Adaptability and resilience.
Good. 3.
Critical thinking and problem solving.
4.
Creativity and innovation.
5.
Collaboration and cross-cultural communication.
6.
Digital literacy.
Yes. 7.
Data analysis and interpretation.
8.
Tech agility.
9.
Self-management.
10.
Entrepreneurial thinking.
Okay, let's put our hands together for ourselves. So it means that we are making notes, right? Which is good. Okay, so we're going to look at how do you build these skills. I think that's what I have next. So who wants to share with me? How do you build these skills? I want from this side. I've been hearing comments from this angle. This angle, yes. How do you build these skills? Who wants to share from here? Okay, there's a hand there. How do you build these skills?
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
You build these skills by being proactive, by trying to like, you being proactive by trying to know the next available skills for you to learn. And there are various ways of which you can build these skills.
Mention one.
Virtual learning, like as we are in Miva here, you can see that most of all the courses that being offered in Miva University is courses of the future. You understand, like data analysis, cybersecurity, AI, and machine learning.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the best time to start building this skill is now, right? That's the best time. And how do you build them? By doing. So I will give us practical doing. So the first practical doing is you need to apply for internships. Don't wait until you finish your program before you start looking for opportunity to intern, right? So internship opportunities will give you the opportunity to apply some of these skills and to also learn some of these skills. So internship is one. Then if there are projects, volunteer. You know, on HRCI board, I volunteer. I'm not paid for the work that I do, right? Yeah, sometimes they sponsor my trips left, right, center, but I'm not paid any salary. So you volunteer for projects. If there's a project in your workplace, at school, you need to volunteer yourself. Maybe you belong to a particular community and there's a project, volunteer yourself for that particular project. Then, if there are student clubs, I believe that we have clubs, right, in Miva, right? So volunteer to lead in some of those student clubs. That will give you an opportunity to apply these leadership skills. Okay? All the skills that we've listed, it will give you an opportunity to apply them. Okay? And then the other way to build again is your personal brand. There's need for you to build your personal brand online. How many of you have a LinkedIn page here? Okay, how many of you don't have a LinkedIn page? How many of you have a LinkedIn page? Okay, how many of you don't have a LinkedIn page? The hands that were not raised up initially does not coming up now. So what's going on? So you all need a LinkedIn page. So you can follow me. The moderator talked about following me on LinkedIn. So you need to go to my LinkedIn page and see what I do there. So there is need for you to build a LinkedIn page. And why do you need that? If you want to be visible, okay? So I can give you all the jobs that I've gotten, except for one, well, because of my presence on LinkedIn. For me, sitting currently as the chair of the HRCI Certification Council is based on my being visible on LinkedIn. Okay, so they saw me and felt, okay, this person is very good, what he's doing in the HR space, and they wanted me to come on board. And then I hadn't even written the HRCI exam. So when I traveled to the States, I visited the HRCI office. They wanted to see me. So we got to say, said, you need to write this exam because we want you to be on board. So they convinced me to write the HRCI exam because of what they see me doing online. So when people see you doing great work online, they will want to invite you into their space because they want to associate with you. So if you want to be visible in your work, to get promotions, all the awards that you see me get is because of what people see online. I'll just sit down and I'll get an email, okay, we've just discovered you and we want to recognize you for X, Y, Z, and I ask why, and then they start reading out some of the things they've seen me do online. Okay? So that's why you all need an online presence. So if you don't have, your LinkedIn is not active today, make sure you make it active. And what do? You say, okay, I don't know what to post. Share what you've learned from this session today. Let that be the first post. And if you tag me, I will also comment on it. And you know I have a large following, so when I comment on it, several other people will also get involved, right? So your LinkedIn profile is a great place to start. Then the other way to build the skill is using online learning platforms. So there's the LinkedIn Learning, right? There's Coursera. There are several online learning platforms. You can also visit those online learning platforms in addition to what Miva provides you, right? So we're going to carry out a small exercise. I believe you all have a piece of paper with you. Do you all have a piece of paper with you? No piece of paper. Yes, you can use notes on your phone. Because we are rounding up, I'll finish my presentation. My presentation was just to share those 10 skills. But we have an exercise. So the question I have for you is that if you had just 1 year to build your future-ready skills, what would you do? If you had just 1 year, what will you do? I'll make it bold. So what I want you to do is, okay, so the self-reflection based, how do we move? Okay. See, I'm learning the tool now. I'm not good with using this one. Okay. So what are the 2 future-ready skills from this class that you already possess? So I mentioned 10, right? Yes. So 2. Write down the 2 that you already possess. Scroll up. Okay. Then what are the 2 skills you would like to develop? So you write down 2 that you already have. Can we all see this screen? Okay. And then the 2 that you would like to build. Are we done? You can only remember if you made a note of the 10 skills. Then the 3rd question there says, how many more times do I have?
When you're done, you have like 10 minutes for the live interview.
No problem.
You can just call any of them that we would like to.
Why are these skills important to your future career? That's those 2 that you want to build, okay? And then let's move. No, it doesn't work from here.
My hand left.
Yes. Okay. So then you need to have an action plan for the 2 skills, right? So the first skill, my action plan. What will I do to develop this skill? And then you need to also incorporate a timeline. I believe that we've been taught about time management, right? So, and goal setting. So your action plan must be smart. So it must have specific thing you want to do and when you want to get it done. So what sort of resources do you need? Do you need a mentor, a particular tool, or a course? Can we scroll up? Let's see what we have. So the 2 skills, skill 1, skill 2, you do the same thing, go up, let's see. Yes, continue. Then the last part talks about future-proofing, your future-proof checklists, okay? So here you need to tick what you have or plan to build. So LinkedIn profile, I can say LinkedIn profile is number 1 there. So if you don't have LinkedIn profile, then you need to build it. Digital portfolio, so maybe you need a blog, can stop there. Complete an online course, participate in a group project or club, attend a career event or workshop, mentorship connection. And then the last statement there is personal commitment. You need to write a commitment. Usually when I coach people, I ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to get this done? So you give me a number. Based on the number, I will know whether you are serious or you are not. If your number is 5 and below, then I know you are likely not going to do anything. If it's 6, 7, 8, maybe you will do and then you will stop. But if you say 9 or 10, then it means that you're likely going to actually do those things. So you need to put down your personal commitment, okay? In one sentence, commit to your next step. What will you then do next? After this class, what are you going to do next? Are we writing down something? Yes, sir. Who wants to share? Okay.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity and for talking to us today. My name is Chioma. I'd like to share according to the exercise you've just given to us. So the skills I already have out of the 10 that you had listed, actually notice that I have 3 of them, not 2. So I possess entrepreneurial thinking. I also have very high digital literacy skill, and I also have emotional intelligence. Then the ones I would like to learn or I would like to build is to learn agility and data analysis. And I believe the skills are important because I intend to work in consultancy and policy and governance. Okay. And I believe that these skills will come in very handy and important. And to build these skills, what I would actively do is that I will take virtual learning very seriously. I would actively learn data analysis, and to do this, I would engage online courses, YouTube videos, and AI. And my timeline I've set for myself is 1 year. And so on the last indicators, the things I already have are, I have a LinkedIn profile, I have completed online courses, I have participated in group projects and clubs, I have attended career events and workshops, and the ones that I intend to build or work on are, I intend to build a digital portfolio, and I also intend to build strong mentorship connections. Thank you very much.
Okay. So the last thing, what are you going to start with now?
Yes, so what I'll start with now is the online courses and YouTube videos, and I'll start with that to build my data analysis skills.
Okay, thank you. Let's start together for her. So I expect all of us in this class to be able to do something like that. So the key takeaway, what are our key takeaways from what we just shared? Key takeaways, who wants to share? There are key takeaways from the session today.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. So,
how is the sound? How is the sound?
Goes this way. It says the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. Second best time is now. So,
Thank you. So the future of work is here, and the time to start is now. Okay, so the next, do we have someone from here who wants to share the takeaway? This section of the class is very quiet, eh? These are the ones that keep quiet in the class, they don't speak. But they have the highest grades, right? Okay. So you don't need to master everything, but you must start. So you don't have to master everything, you need to start right away. So as we leave this session, I don't want you to just leave here saying that I'm inspired, right? I don't want you to just say, okay, I was inspired, I enjoyed the talk. I want you to do something. And what do I want you to do? To choose at least 2 skills to work on. So she has chosen those that she's going to work on. So everyone must have 2 skills that they're going to work on. And we're going to do something. So you're all going to post something on LinkedIn, okay? Talk about this session. Talk about the 2 skills that you want to build on and tag me. The first person to get that done might get a gift from me. To get that done, we get a gift from me. Okay. You've done it already. Okay. So pick one new learning platform to explore this month. That's the next thing you need to do. So 2 skills they are going to work on. One new learning platform they are going to explore. And then thirdly, Stay curious, stay connected, and like I said, if you're on LinkedIn, connect with me. If you're not on LinkedIn, then you need to create a profile and then connect with me. So my final comment for you as we close, or my charge to you is, don't wait for the future, build it, skill by skill. So that's basically all that I have for us. I think there's going to be a Q&A, right? So if you have some specific questions, I can answer them. And there's supposed to be a mock interview, I guess, a live mock interview. So someone who wants to be interviewed for a particular job role, then we can get that done. Okay. So questions first. Any question, any burning question that you have and you'd like to ask, I can take one or two, and then we'll sit with someone who wants to be interviewed. No questions. We're all fine. Right? I can't see any hands up. Okay, so since there are no questions, but there's a hand, okay. But don't forget the assignments, okay? So you need to pick 2 skills that you need to work on. Choose one new learning platform to explore this month. And share and tag me on LinkedIn. Yes?
Thank you for this privilege, sir, for you taking out your time to come and give us this vital information. My question is, you've listed some of these skills, like the soft skills, and one that caught my... Sir?
Power skills.
Power skills, sorry. One that caught my attention most is this emotional intelligence, of which some of us might have it, and at times we might not even know. So how do we kind of upgrade it? Like, you want to know more about it. Is there a particular platform one can go to register and earn a certificate from it?
Okay, so there are several platforms. If you are looking for certificates, maybe you then need to go for a paid course, right? But there are free platforms. There's a book on emotional intelligence which you can download for free. But on YouTube, there are several videos on emotional intelligence on YouTube that you can access. And that will walk you through. You can even see examples. Basically, you'll see scenarios being played out. How do you respond to such a scenario? Let's say in the office space now, someone keeps coming late, right? Instead of you as the supervisor trying to find out why they are always late to work, okay? And because of asking that question, why they are always late to work, and they're talking to you, if your emotional intelligence quotient is that high, you will not only listen to what they are saying, okay? You will also listen to what they are not saying. So the person might be telling you this is the problem, but that problem might be bigger than what they are actually sharing. So because you are paying attention, you're very attentive to what they are saying to you, you will hear those things that they are not saying. Then sometimes you work with people and the person is behaving in a certain way. So emotional intelligence, if your emotional intelligence quotient is very high, it enables you to be able to see and sense that something is wrong or something is about to go bad by just observing what is going on around you. So that's a skill you need to train yourself to learn. And sometimes it requires a lot of patience. So when somebody is trying to tell you something, you are not saying, finish quickly, let me say something, let me give you my reply. Okay? So one who is emotionally aware and intelligent will want to wait and allow them to finish. And then something might just happen. You don't want to just jump into it. You want how others will react or respond to the situation before you come in. So those are all traces of how you apply the emotional intelligence skill that you've acquired. So there's a lot of videos, I would recommend that you watch the videos on YouTube. So if you just go to YouTube, search for emotional intelligence, you'll see several videos, watch them, listen, and then you pick up that skill. And then when you pick it up, so in your home or at work or in class, you can begin to apply some of those things. And then after a while, it becomes a second nature to you. Thank you. Okay. How many questions can we take? One here. Okay, there's another hand there.
There's one online I wanted to take.
Okay.
Okay, let me take this first. So the question is very simple. Mentorship connect to help one improve on the lacking skills.
I thought Miva has a mentorship.
Well, yes, we do, but I'm sure this person is deliberately asking you as well.
Okay. Okay. They want me to mentor them. Is that what they're asking for? They can follow me online. They can engage me online. And then we can talk. Yes, they can engage me online. Feel free to follow, engage. But if you want a one-on-one, most times I don't have time for one-on-one. But I have, what do I put it now? I have opportunities, platform that will enable you have it's like a one-on-one, but it's one in a group, so a group call. So like every month I have a Q&A session where anyone that has any career questions can just join that particular session and they can ask a question. I will attend to you.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir. Okay, so my question is, I am. It's fine. Oh, okay. I'm an HR administrator, currently just a beginner. I want to ask, what advice would you give to me as a beginner who is hoping to climb the ladder into the managerial position?
Okay, very simple. So there is a YouTube video that I have for my YouTube channel. It talks about the 5 steps to create a career development roadmap. I will encourage everyone to go to that YouTube video, watch it. If you want to go whether in HR or any career, right? You know, like this building that we're in now. Before this building came up, there was an architect who did a design, right? And then before the builders put up this structure. So for your career, you need to determine where you want to get to. And so when you determine where you want to get to, you then need to have a plan. So and how do you determine where you want to get to? So let's take, for instance, HR as an example. You want to grow to become HR director, and today you are an HR admin. There is a platform. It's called aihr.com or .org, I can't remember now. Academy for Innovative HR. So they have a template that you can use. You plug in where you are now and where you want to be. It will give you all the different steps, the courses you need to take, the experiences you need to acquire to enable you to grow to become that HR director. So I advise that you find that too. So basically what I'm trying to say is that you need to first of all define where you want to get to. So you can either pick up the job profile of that particular role, the highest, the zenith of that particular career, and then do a gap analysis, okay? When you do the gap analysis, it will tell you, these are the things you have, and these are the things you don't have. And then you then put in place an action plan that will enable you build over time to gain the experiences, the knowledge, and the skill that is required to get to that particular level. So that's what you need to do. But watch that video on my channel. It will also give you a guide. And if you watch it and you need a template, I can share a template with you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah, good morning, sir. My name is Kennedy Williams from the Cybersecurity Department. So I have a very concise question. I want to paint a scenario where you have 2 applicants applying for a role at your organization, and one has, let's say, exceptional work experience, and the other has certifications. Which would be your preferred candidate?
The guy with the experience.
Okay, why?
Because I need to get the job done.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if he has only certification and hasn't done the job.
Okay.
I don't have a basis to assess whether he or she will be successful in that particular job. So my advice is usually before you go for certificate, there is certificate, there is certification, right? So they are not the same. Okay. So certificate you get when you acquire knowledge, you are tested on that knowledge, you get a certificate, right? Okay. Certification is an attestation of your experience. So what we've seen these days is that some professional bodies provide you certification. So you read, you prepare, and then you go write the exam, you pass. But if we now ask you to practically implement some of those things, you only just have textbook knowledge, and that was why you passed the certification exam, right? So you're not able to do it. So I would usually prefer to see someone who has done it, knows how to do it, and then, and not just that you have shiny certifications to go.
Thank you very much, sir.
But the certification for me is a nice to have. It's a nice to have. So get the experience, and you might say, okay, but how do I get the experience? Because I'm staying, there's no job and all that. So I've talked about volunteering your time. Offer your services for free. You will get the experience. So you are, and then because all the services are free, you get the experience. When you get that experience, you now become a hot cake. People will be looking for you to pay you to for you to deliver that service to them. That's it, right? Okay, thank you very much. And I think I have my, yes. So these are my social media handles. I'm actually on almost all the platforms. LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, what have you. I guess so feel free, and then YouTube. But YouTube is at Michael. So feel free to connect with me on YouTube, follow, subscribe, and then watch that particular video. So who is coming on board?
So I need one person to volunteer. It's going to be a quick one, 10 minutes max, on spot interview. Just one person. Who is bold enough? Please come.
So how are you? What's your name?
My name is Chioma Johnson.
Chioma Johnson. Welcome. Okay, so which position are you applying for?
I'm applying for communications professional at your firm.
Okay. Communication professional. Okay, fine. So tell me about yourself and why you think you are the right person for this job role.
Okay. Thank you very much for that question. My name is Chioma Johnson. I've read really deeply about your firm, and I have also analyzed myself, and I think I'm the best fit for this role at your organization. I have solid people skills, solid emotional intelligence skills. I also have, several certifications to this effect, including a diploma in international English studies. I have also proven my communication skills in my previous roles, which includes country director for an NGO here in Nigeria. I think that with this wealth of experience that I've gathered and with the certifications that I have, I will be able to make impact in your firm.
Okay. So what do you currently do?
At the moment, I am vice chairman for an NGO.
So why this organization and not other organizations?
Thank you. So this organization, because I resonate deeply with your vision and your mission, which I've studied really in-depthly, because I believe that this is the right fit for who I am as a person, and I also believe that I can make solid impact in your team. That's why I picked this organization at Brewers.
Okay, so you said that you talked about our vision and our mission.
Yeah.
So can you tell me what is this vision? What is this vision?
Okay. So from what I've seen and what I've studied, I believe that your vision is to provide the best hospitality services in Africa. And that's a vision that I can solidly get behind. I believe that your mission is seeing each guest, that comes to your organization as the most important one and making them feel like part of a family, creating a home, away from home experience for them. And this is something that I also want to be as committed to.
Okay, thank you. So I want to just debrief something there. When I asked her the first question, I said, why are you the right person for this particular role? So she talked about all that she has done, right? But something was missing. So who can tell me what was missing? Yes? Shout it out.
Okay, so while she was saying all of that, she really did not hit the nail on the head on our wealth of experience. She's not really tell us why she was the best fit for the job. It was just passive about the organization and not about the value that she had to place on herself.
She did. She talked very much about herself, what that she has done, but something was missing. Yes.
How her experiences fit into the role she's applying for.
Okay, so that was what was missing. So when you are asked that particular question, what the recruiter wants to hear, or the best way to answer it, is that my expectation is that whenever you are invited to an interview, right, try to request for the job profile for that particular role if it was not properly advertised in detail. When you get it, do an analysis of your knowledge, skill, experience, abilities, right?
Yeah.
Compared with what is in that particular role. Then look at what is expected, the responsibilities that role is expected to carry out. And then when you are asked this question, you should just be telling the recruiter that when you saw the advert, you saw that they are looking for someone with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have those things, but you need to have more. So you need to be compared. So that tells the person that you are the right fit. And in terms of the responsibility, this role expects someone to do 1, 2, 3, and this is how you've done it. So without first question alone, most times will give you the job. The others will just be for formality. So when you don't ask, when you don't answer properly, then the interviewer will keep asking, just keep probing to see if they will hear
What they want to hear.
from you. Basically, what they want to hear from you, that the experiences, the knowledge that you have matches exactly the job profile that they put out there. Okay? I think that's, okay, let me ask you one last question.
Okay.
So what's your current pay and what's your salary expectation?
Okay, so my current pay is 650,000. My salary expectations for the role is 800 to 1 million naira. And the reason why I have the salary expectations is because between my current role and this new role, I've taken time, to improve my knowledge, to improve the things that I know and that I can offer, which makes me a more valuable candidate.
From 600 to 800, 1 million to 1 million, that's too much. Jump is just too much.
Okay. I believe that the value that I bring to the table is deserving of this pay. And even beyond the pay, like I said, I align with the purpose of this organization. And even though there are candidates that will probably take a lesser salary, the skills that I have and the value that I bring is not something that money can buy.
Okay, thank you. So let me debrief this last question. Our response is good, but so when you are asked this kind of question, it's good to give a range, right? Don't just give a figure. But what was missing is that she needs to leave a room for negotiation. She didn't leave a room for, she just said between 800 and 1 million, and that's it. So which means I don't have 800, I shouldn't up to mark, but that's the list. So you can give a range, when you get add a caveat to it to say, but I'm open to negotiation because I don't know what you have in your budget.
Yeah.
So that would then tell, because so even though I want between 800 and 1 million, if they're up to something less, I might consider it. Because there could be other benefits that if I monetize them, will take me up to the 1 million or the 800. So I'm open to negotiation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's start here.
Thank you very much, sir.
I think it deserves another round of applause. Ian, as we popularly call him in the HR space, yes, it's really a huge privilege to have you. I would like to say, you know, EM is your HR's HR, so if you know what I mean, it's one of those voices, those top voices in the HR space that, one of those top voices in the HR space that even those of us in the profession, we go to his page to learn a thing or two. Maybe use this one. Okay, let me use that one. Okay, thank you. Now we go to his page, we listen to his lectures, we follow him closely to learn a thing or two, so that we also can improve our skills. So really, it's really a huge privilege. And for those of you who attended this today, I think you should consider yourself lucky to be in the room, in the same room with the maestro himself. Thank you so much. On behalf of Miva University, we have this small token of appreciation for you. Are you good? Are we good? Thank you. So thank you so much for coming. You can have your seat. Let me not keep you standing for too long. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So Shay, I think I can move to the proper. Okay. All right. Yes. So thank you. So before we wrap this up, supposed to give the vote of thanks, but I think I have a few points to share, which I think is also in line with this topic we have just discussed. I think you're very privileged to be hearing this now while you are still studying, while you are still on campus. A lot of these things, some of us didn't get a chance to learn them until after we had graduated. And some of them we learned the hard way. For example, the topic of emotional intelligence was not even a thing when some of us graduated. But right now you have the chance to learn about it. You have the chance not to misbehave when you get into the workforce. So it's really a privilege. And there's also one important thing, of course, the Chief People Officer at Miva University. And sometimes I'm tempted to say that I am not exactly sure that what we have in this country is employment problem, but rather employability problem. Because I can tell you right now, I have more than 10 open roles that I'm trying to fill, and it's difficult to find the right talent to fill them. But you have people around you, you have friends, you have neighbors who are telling you that, oh, they are looking for a job. So it's really a privilege. I know there's still, I think there's a CV review clinic that would also happen. Because a lot of times too, you even get CVs of people who may be qualified, because really your CV is the first point of interaction, first point of contact. I've not met you, but I'm meeting you through your CV. And you are going through some of these CVs and you really can't place what exactly the person can do. So I think that leg of this session will also be very important. And you really don't need to start building your CV after graduation. I heard some people say they don't have a LinkedIn profile yet. Please, this is the best time to build a LinkedIn profile while you're still in school. It's really important, and some of these volunteer experience, you keep adding them up. They count for something, they count for experience. Because people, so you resume sometimes you're seeing certain job adverts, and they're saying they're looking for 2 to 3 years experience, and you're wondering where you are supposed to have gotten that. Your volunteering experience counts as experience. So please do not take that for granted. Miva Open University is getting all of us ready for the now of work. We used to say the new world of work, but that world of work that we used to talk about is not here. We saw the Mind demo yesterday. We can see how AI is transforming a lot of things. So we are already in that space, and I think we are doing so much at Miva to equip you guys. This masterclass is one of those things to get you ready. Also in that vein, in the next couple of weeks, I think I can say that here first, we will be launching our Career Advancement Center, which will be manned by a seasoned professional that will help position us for that world that is also waiting for us after graduation. So all of these things is what Miva is doing to ensure that we are all ready. So thank you all for coming. I'm sure you've gained a lot of insights, you've gained a lot of things that I think will propel you to your next level and to ensure that you're very competitive when you eventually join the workforce. Thank you once again, EM, for making our time. I know you're a very busy person, so thank you very much. And to the organizers of the Masterclass event, thank you so much, and have a great, beautiful day.
Thank you, Deepak. So please, before we go, let us scan this barcode to fill the attendance form so you can have a certificate sent to your mail. This is the link if you're able to scan the barcode. Once again, thank you so much for showing up. There's still a lot going on today, so I'm sure you guys are still around. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
These are now the order of the pictures. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.